Today I will show you how to foil even the shortest hair without any folding. Instead, I will pre-cut small foils and exploit the stickiness of lightener and cholesterol cream to glue the foils onto the hair. My client has a gray forehead hairline with salt and pepper sides, top, and back. She wants icy white highlights on the dark hair, blending with the salt and pepper. Her hair is too short for traditional folded foils and is even too short to section with clips. Small hair needs small foils. I first pre-cut my regular foils into quarters along the width. I need 2 bowls of product for this procedure. One bowl contains lightener, the other needs thick, creamy conditioner like cholesterol cream. I have a color brush for each bowl and a couple of tail combs. First, I decide how low on the sides I want my first row of foils. The haircut determines the placement. If the hair is immobile due to shortness, i.e., it won't spike with product or move with wind, do not foil it. I will lay out the foils in orbital rings, working back and forth around the head rather than working in rectangular panels as in classic foiling. First orbital line is always cholesterol. I paint from the parting downward with cholesterol and stick a foil to it. I then move on to the next comb width. I overlap the foils as needed to keep everything clean on the next row. I prefer using Queen Helene cholesterol cream for this foiling technique. It has great consistency and it conditions the hair very well. As you can see, since the hair is so short, I use both the comb and my fingers to hold up the short hair. When I reach the left temple, I weave bleach highlights on the way back toward her right. To get the short weaves to stick onto the foil, I hold the upper hair out of the way and draw a horizontal line of bleach about 1/2 inch below the top of the foil. Still holding the side hair up with my left hand, I pick out individual weaves from the scalp with my right hand using the tail point, and then press each down into the line of bleach with the comb end. I then paint the weaves thoroughly and sandwich on a foil. I repeat this process working around the head back toward the right. Depending on the color and percentage of gray you confront, you will need to decide whether this first row, the border between colored and uncolored hair, is done with fine weaves or fat weaves. As a rule, the darker the hair and the less gray there is, you should use fine weaves. On lighter or grayer hair, you may need to use fatter weaves in order to see the contrast when finished. I increase the size of weaves as I move higher on the head where the hair is longer. I continue foiling in orbits until the growth pattern of the short hair by the crest area aims forward rather than downward. Once the orbital weaves are completed, I have several options for coloring the top. I might bleach it out completely, leaving no root. The orbital weaves would soften the transition between the platinum top and the uncolored nape. Another alternative is to continue alternating weaves and blanks as I did in the orbital sections. This creates subtle dimension in the top. Yet another option is to use slice subsections but with a jagged root. I first paint the lower foil with a jagged line near the parting using the corner of the tint brush. I carefully spread out a slice of hair onto this bleach. I then apply bleach over the slice, following the jagged pattern established on the lower foil. This makes the root appear dimensional rather than as a stripe along the scalp. For successive foils, apply back-to-back with a different jagged application or a weave. This time my client wanted less brightness, so I will be foiling out the top with weaves. I foil back to front. The forward growth keeps the hair out of my way, but it also makes it harder to get the hair onto the foil. I will now paint stick lines on every foil, both for cholesterol and bleach, to make the hair stay where it belongs. Since my goal is to mimic pre-existing gray hair and the client has a very cool complexion, I will lift her hair to palest yellow and I will not tone. In my experience, it is better to rely on semi-permanent violet shampoos and conditioners rather than demi-permanent peroxide toners. Peroxide toners may stain the darker remaining hair, making lift more difficult the next time, and as they fade, many peroxide toners break the natural base, creating an unwanted warm background color that lasts at least 2 haircuts depending on the hair length. My client has beautiful pure white hair in the recession points and temples, but she has a dark tongue of hair in the widow's peak area that she wants to lighten. I avoid bleaching her white hair and I only bleach the dark hair behind the widow's peak. This blends better. If you bleach the white hair too, the bleached darker hair will appear yellow by comparison no matter what you do, and when toning shampoo is applied, the white hair will appear lavender. When you have finished foiling, process the bleach to your desired remaining pigment and tone, if desired. When I need to tone, but I don't want lift, I apply Unite Urotherapy Blonda Purple Shampoo at the shampoo bowl after rinsing. I leave it on until I see my desired result. Home care is important to keep any style fresh. For the perfect all-day spikes with a matte finish, she takes home Unite Creamy Paste Styler. And to keep her blonde bright and icy, she takes home Unite Blonda Daily Shampoo and Conditioner. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and please subscribe. Cheers!